Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm very excited to introduce to you today a course that I myself, Fawzi Rahman, along with the Noor, will be teaching called Collecting Living Histories of Muslims in the United States, New Ways of Seeing, Hearing, Knowing, Feeling, and Building Community. This is going to be a fantastic course. I'm excited to have you all. It's going to be very engaging. It's going to be very personal. But before beginning, and before talking about why it's important to collect living histories and how this is a very personal experience, it is important for us, for myself and for all of us, to acknowledge the land that we live on and to understand and realize that this land is stolen land, and those tribes and those communities that were forcibly removed. So I want to start by acknowledging that we're on currently the stolen lands of the Peoria, Kaskaskia, the Piankashaw, Wea, Miami, Muscatan, Odawa, Sauk, Meskwaki, Kickapoo, Potawatomi, Ojibwe, and Chickasaw nations. And starting our own history and starting to build our own history, how imperative it is to understand the land that we live on, how we live on it, and how we build our history, not outside of this history, but within it as well. And as all of you may know, we are living in very difficult times, right? As Muslims, a Muslim community that's very diverse, and a Muslim community that needs to really understand our diversity and the many identities that make up the communities that we live in. And I wanted to start by saying that I'm very excited for all of you to come into this class ready to understand your own personal histories and the histories of the community you live in. It's not a very long course, and it's just going to be a beginning for us. We're going to be starting this together, and we're going to, inshallah, provide you with some tools, some literature, some resources that are going to range from TikTok videos, from YouTube videos, from books, from traditional Islamic books as well, from the Quran, from the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we want to really root this course in our own faith tradition, and we want you to understand that a lot of what you learn and you will learn about oral history that's being taught in the social sciences as well is rooted in our faith. And one of the many things that is very similar to the prophetic model of listening, seeing, hearing, knowing, feeling, and building community is at the center of all this. So I'm excited to meet all of you. I'm excited to learn from all of you. And I hope that you join us. And I hope that you are ready to find out not only about yourselves, about your classmates, about your teachers, and about your community. And I think a little bit of homework before we start, you can look in your own communities. What land do you live on? And begin by acknowledging that and understanding what does it mean to live on land that has been stolen from communities, and what does it mean to acknowledge that and to learn from that. And finally, I want to say, as Muslims, seeking knowledge is so important in our faith. And something that I've learned more recently, it's not only important to build us, but it's also important to protect us. One of the attributes of Allah, Al-Hafid, the preserver. And the preserver, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, protects us with the knowledge that He gives us. From above, He sends us knowledge, but He also allows us to see the knowledge that has come before us and to reflect upon that, and so that there are signs in that. So I hope that you begin by thinking about this. You also begin by thinking about elders in your community that you can sit with and listen to. And inshallah, we hope that we will be able to give you some tools and some guidance on how to do that. And together we can start to build living histories of Muslims in the United States, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.